Jerry Brown here with Jerry Brown Travels.
Lori here. Today we're gonna go to meet Jack, Dan, and Elaine.
If you haven't seen the videos, we actually had an interview with each of them. I recommend you look at those videos. Now this is a couple and one single man that live on $300 a month each, and we're going to go into their home. We are going to show you what their home looks like, and we're just going to sit down and just talk about how do they live, how do they share expenses, and what it's like to live in a small little community that they have created, and living a lifestyle that they want to live, a simpler lifestyle of simplicity. Jerry Brown here with Jerry Brown Travels.
Elaine here from Jerry Brown Travels.
Jack here from Jerry Brown Travels.
Dan here from Jerry Brown Travels.
And Lori here.
Okay, we're going to do a series here. It's going to be a 4-part series where we're going to interview each one individually and find out how they have been able to live on $300 a month each, and they're doing co-housing. So follow us in this series and you'll learn a little bit about Elaine, Jack, and Dan and their personal stories. I know you'll find it interesting. Well guys, thank you for inviting me into your house and giving these special interviews here, telling your story on how you have retired early, each one of you, your own individual stories. Now, let's talk a little bit about, you're living here and how do you work out the logistics? In other words, you talked about splitting costs and stuff like that. But so as an example, do you guys put all your money in, let's say, a food budget and then you just pull out from that? Or does each person have a place in the refrigerator for their food? How does that work?
Well, it's evolved a little bit over time. Initially, we would just chip in probably about $50 a week each. And then we just have a little, at the front door, we have a little pad with a pen. And when you buy some groceries or whatever it is, everyone takes turns because we don't have a car. So we'll bring some vegetables back or some fruit back, and there'll be a list of things we need. People can write down. And we all take turns writing down what's missing. And when we go out, we bring back what we can, and then when we do, we just record the amount of money we spend. So there's trust there, but we all found that we fit together well with that. Usually Danny does the math.
Okay.
He's the math guy. It just kind of magically worked out with the three of us. We've been very fortunate. I like to cook,
Okay.
so I do the cooking. Elaine
I
does.
set the table and clean the table.
Okay.
And
So,
I was doing the dishes.
so you divide up your day-to-day chores by what you like doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we all just kind of chipped in, and there's a good spirit here. I think when you live in community, you can't go in with the attitude that I want to get my fair share.
Right.
It's like more the Kennedy thing, what can I do for the community rather than what can the community do for me. So there's a bonus if there's so much benefit to sharing everything. There's so much financial benefit and bonus that if it works out odd and I forget to write something down and I miss out on $5 at one point in the month, I mean that's not a big issue.
But we've all done that.
But you've known each other for many years, and so that definitely has helped.
Oh, sure.
Because you're the new.
I'm the new kid on the block.
You're the new
yeah.
kid on the block. Okay. So you guys have known each other for 20-some years.
Yeah, we're like
Dan and
brothers.
Jack,
So,
yeah. And then
Trust
Elaine
us.
has come into the family 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Are there any challenges, Elaine, living with 2 guys?
Oh, no. It's hockey season. I'm staying with my girlfriend. Yes, at times we all have our challenges. I have a TV that I bought. I put up in the room, and I just watch Netflix movies because we're not news people or real TV people. But yeah, I find other things to do.
Okay, the other thing too, you guys all have a common interest too. I mean, besides living co-housing and living that, also you belong to a spiritual community.
Correct.
Yes.
That's helpful, yes.
That's okay. So by having that common denominator, that really solidifies your relationship in trust.
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
trust is probably at the forefront of our in our awareness.
Yeah.
Is the trust.
Yeah, trust and respect for each other,
Yes.
that it works. You've created your nucleus of a family, you know, brothers, sisters, you know, all this right now, that whole feeling, probably even better than a family, because you probably don't fight like that.
I got family members I can't family.
True that.
Now, how about in the house here? I mean, how do you regulate, let's say, your own space? I imagine, you know, you get tired of looking at each other or something like that. So is there some type of you mentioned, Elaine, that you have your own space in your room and stuff like that. Do each of you have your own rooms?
Well, yeah, that's what it's come to. I mean, we shared a room for quite some time, but now it's we all have our own bedroom, and they're quite large rooms. There's room for furniture in the room as well, and our own bathroom. So,
Okay.
so you have your own space,
Yeah.
and then we have all the rest of the house is communal space.
Okay. What about it in the sense of the communal space of, let's say, do you find that you basically have the same idea, let's say, of cleanliness? Is there one that's a slob and one that isn't? I don't know how to say it.
Well, two of us are responsible for cleaning.
Okay.
And one is responsible for cooking.
Okay.
So
He makes the mess.
He makes
Yeah.
the mess, obviously. So
I'm
yeah,
already
he's
cleaning
messing.
up crew.
But we're okay with that.
But
But
that's,
it's okay.
that's just it. You're never going to find the perfect people to live with, and no one's perfect by anybody else's perspective. And that's why, you know, that fundamental willingness to forgive, that forgiveness is forefront in, you know, overlooking and acceptance, you know. We all have our own individual
Of
quirks
course,
and
absolutely.
things that can get under our skin, but we'll bring them up immediately and we'll discuss things if something comes up. And I mean, literally immediately.
Yeah, you don't want it to fester, you don't want to sit in it and get upset by yourself, and then it turns into this big thing. So we just generally it just sort of happened, all of this,
Yeah.
organically, the whole thing. Something comes up, we talk about it, we go through it, it's all done.
Sometimes we do have to go to our room for a bit, though.
Well,
for a time.
sometimes,
The time
I know I went to my room for a few days sometimes. I got a kitchen in my room, so I'm okay.
right, he hides from us sometimes.
Well,
What's the bad part? There's got to be something in here, you know. Let's get a little bit, you know, juicy here, you know. We got to have the bad part for the.
Well, you can't say that anger doesn't come up or frustration. Those things come up. But like we said, you know, sometimes someone festers for a little while and has to figure out how they want to open up about it. But in general, that's what we do. When something comes up, we just come right to the person. Or if you're not feeling comfortable with just one, all three of us will sit together.
Now, what advice, again, for somebody, let's say, that's coming down and three people have just come down and they don't know each other and they've seen this video and they, oh wow, it'd be great to do that. What advice would you tell them how to really establish that?
to go from, I'm going to come down here so I can live cheap,
Yeah.
and I'm going to live with others because then it'll be cheaper. Then you're going to be nitpicking everything, and you're going to have frustration, and I can't see how that would work.
You need that common denominator.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the common denominator can't be, you know, well, I want to live with everyone because I want it to be cheap, and I want people to be a certain way. And again, I think it really has to come from this desire to contribute to a community. If it's what can I give?
Yeah.
How can I, if that's your focus, I'd love living with people that think that.
I know our viewers are definitely going to want to see your house. Can you take us on a little tour?
Sure.
Well, Elaine could do that.
Okay, Elaine, let's see your house.
Knock, knock.
Welcome, Jerry. Come on in. Welcome to our home. Let's come through the living room area. This is the wall that we project our movies on from our projector. We take the screen off there, the picture, and then we use that as the wall. It's a lot of fun. We invite a bunch of people, especially on Sunday afternoon. This is the beautiful view we have. Animals and the lake and the mountains and the sky. It's just gorgeous. We're so blessed. Well, this is the dining room area. And when you come through here, Rami, this beautiful local artist, has painted this beautiful painting. We call it The Last Mexican Supper. A new patio being put in. But this is another beautiful painting that Rami has done that we have been blessed to be able to buy from him. We have this great counter space to make all kinds of great meals. Jack loves to cook, as you'll hear in the videos, and he just transfers right onto the table. And this is upstairs. I'll take you upstairs. And this, we have an extra bed here, a sofa bed that can be pulled out if we have a guest that wants to stay over. And if you come up here, another bathroom we have here, and then we have a bedroom over here that's Danny's bedroom. So we each have a bathroom and a bedroom. Jack and I share this bigger room together, and when we have guests, we put them in the other room. This is a beautiful view. This is where Jack and I have a bedroom. As I said, we each have our own. We share here, and when we have guests, we give up that room. So this is our room. And again, we have a beautiful view when you come in of the lake and the mountain and the sky. It's beautiful. And then when you switch to the other side, we've got these beautiful trees, and when you get close to the window, you can see the mountain and the sky on this view. A closet that leads into a bathroom. And so I've turned my space into a workstation where I do my arts and I do my crocheting when I want to be quiet by myself. And then you come on in, and here's our bathroom. Sorry we weren't 100% prepped on clean. I wasn't here. But welcome. Thank you for coming on this tour with us.
If you want to hear more, we're going to interview Dan, and we're going to interview Jack, and we're going to interview Elaine separately. And they're going to tell you their individual stories, how they have retired early and they're spending $300 a month to live, and they're doing it as a co-housing, and that co-housing is the main factor of the success. So watch other videos that we're going to publish that I know you'll like. And minimum, I'm going to have a hard time saying that word. Let me see if I can say it again. They want to live a life as a minimalist. I got it. As a minimalist.